In almost every program, there are times you need to make decisions, and that is when you use an if statement. Here is an example. Let us say we have a variable called temperature, and we set this to 35. Now, if the temperature is greater than 30, perhaps you want to display a message to the user. So, we need to make the use of an if statement. If, after if, we add a condition which is basically a Boolean expression, an expression that produces a Boolean value. So, if temperature is greater than 30 degrees, here we have a Boolean expression. If this expression value is to true, the following statements will be executed. You should always terminate your statement with a colon. Now let's see what happens when I press enter. Our cursor is indented. So here we have two white spaces. This is very important because using these indentations, Python interpreter will know what statements should be executed. If this condition is true, then here we want to print a message like it's warm. We can also print another statement like print drink water. Well, so here we can have as many statements as we want. As long as they're intended, they belong to this if block. Now, when we finish here, we should remove indentation to indicate the end of this if block. So here we can add a print statement by pressing backspace, and here which says done. This statement will always be executed whether this condition is true. Let us run this program. Oh, wonderful. So because temperature is greater than 30, we see that the first two messages, and we see the done regardless. So if I change the temperature to, let's say, 15 and run the program one more time, look, this done message is executed whether a condition is true or not. So pay great attention to these indentations. Now what if you want to have a multiple conditions? We use an elif. So elif, that is short for else if. Here we can add another condition. Let's say temperature is greater than 20 once again. We have to put a colon, and let's print a different message. So let's say it's nice. Great. Now we save the changes. Control S, and we run it. Now look, all these lines are intended consistency. You can have as many elif statements as you want, and optionally you can also have an else statement. So if none of the previous conditions are true, then whatever you have in the else block will be executed. Once again, we add the colon indentation. Now look, all these lines are indented consistently. You can have as many elif statements as you want, and optionally you can also have an else statement. So if none of the previous conditions are true, then what you have is in the else block, which will be executed. Once again, we add the colon annotation and we can print a message here. Let's say it says that and we can say we can print a message like let's say it's cold here. If we run this program, we will get an indentation error because we need to press on a tab and indent it correctly. Now when we run it again, here it says it executes the statement it's warm, drink water, and done. Now if we change this temperature to let's say 25, then this ls statement should get executed. As you can see, now it prints it's done, it's nice, and done. Whereas if we reduce the temperature to around 15 degrees, then we run it again. Then here you can see it will print this else statement and it says it's cold and done.